Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. We're going to talk about Twitch. Twitch is being accused of racism and sexism and all kinds of nastiness, and this shouldn't surprise anybody because anytime a company makes a big public statement about how good they are, how they're going to purge racism and sexism and all that nasty stuff, it usually turns out that they themselves are participating in it. We kind of saw it with Rooster Teeth, right? Rooster Teeth put out this big statement about how basically how woke they've gotten, and then like a couple of weeks later, it turns out that some of their guys were sending some photos and doing some stuff they shouldn't be doing. It usually winds up being a cover, and anymore, the cynic in me says the harder a company virtue signals, the more skeletons they probably have in their own closets. That seems to be the case. So I gotta give a hat tip to CCG who sent this over to me, that Bleeding Cool is actually covering the situation with Twitch. Now, a lot of people have been pointing out that Twitch has been getting very, very political as of late, and they've seemingly lost track of who their audience historically was. It does not seem to be a very friendly place for hardcore gamers anymore. We saw what happened with Dr. Disrespect and that ridiculous ban that a lot of people think it came down to money. But Twitch has been trying very, very hard to be seen as a very progressive, inclusive company. In fact, we had the Dear Girl meme going around and all of that. And, usually when companies do this, again, cynic, but 9 times out of 10, it's because they themselves are hiding a bunch of shitty behavior. Now they're being called out for potentially shitty behavior. Now, it could also be, too, that when companies signal like this and say, look how progressive and woke we are, they attract a certain kind of audience, a certain kind of employee, and a lot of the employees that would be attracted to a company like this are always looking for problems, right? They're always looking for injustice. They're always looking for Nazis behind every bush. That should be a children's book. Nazis behind every bush. And that does seem to also be the case. So we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We're at almost 150,000 subs, guys. We do cover video game news, but we mostly cover animation news, comic book industry news, general pop culture. We're very opinionated. Don't really care what other people think. That is just who we are. So this is, let me see, gamesindustry.biz kind of blew the lid off of this one, and then Bleeding Cool jumped on it. And we're gonna follow this whole. We're gonna follow it all the way to the end. Twitch is currently dealing with internal issues after the staff called out the company over multiple issues this past week, according to GameIndustry.biz. The staffer came forward to talk to them about a post made by the company's CEO, Emmett Shear. Back in June 2020, which the Me Too movement was calling out figureheads in the gaming industry for harassment, Shear posted this tweet addressing all the stories that had been coming out about streamers who use their platform. This tweet. Oh God, yeah, I remember this. They went to a lot of links to be like, oh my God, we're just so progressive and woke at Twitch. Any kind of problem, you come to us. Twitch is the safest place to create on the internet. I want Twitch to be the safest place on the internet. Safe usually meaning safe for certain people, not for other people, not for Dr. Disrespect. Twitch wasn't very safe for Dr. Disrespect, was it? It's a lofty goal. If there was an off-the-shelf solution to build a universally safe and healthy community, someone would have done it already. We have created something unique and special for many of the folks who call Twitch home, and I believe that with renewed commitment to business, not as usual, and some bold steps, we can make it safe for everybody, including the Dear Girl, who went out of her way to say that if she didn't agree with you, that she was going to see what she could do to get rid of problematic people from the platform, and she's apparently involved with their Twitch Safety Advisory Council. Now, I heard that she didn't really have any power. I haven't really checked in on the Dear Girl lately, but this is pretty much everything wrong with Twitch in one picture right now, right? So this is the original article from gamesindustry.biz. Twitch staff calls out the company on sexual assault, racism, and more. Employees from throughout the streaming platform's history describe a culture of indifference to inappropriate, unsafe, and abusive behavior. Again, when you put out statements saying that your company is not this, that, and the other thing, the skeletons tend to come out of your closet, right? Because you basically just sent a flare up to Twitter to be like, you know, any hypocrisy at all, call us out on it. And that's exactly what happens. And more often than not, the companies that signal the hardest have the most skeletons in their closet. I mean, that's just how it works. When the game industry saw its most recent wave of abuse allegations take place in June, it included dozens of accusations against Twitch streamers. CEO posted a memo he sent to staff about the allegations. We talked about that, saying, "We support people coming forward, commend their bravery in doing so, and know there are many others who have not. The gaming industry is not unlike others that have had to reckon with systemic sexism, racism, and abuse that awards certain people and disadvantages, even harms others. The status quo needs to change. This reckoning and industry-wide actions are overdue. And this is another issue that we in the industry need to address to create lasting and positive change." Shortly after that statement, a former Twitch employee approached gamesindustry.biz to come forward with allegations of systemic sexism, racism, and abuse like Sheer had referenced. "I've been hesitant for years to share my story and the events that happened to me during my employment at Twitch," she said. "But with the recent events and their statement on Twitter, I feel compelled to share and speak out against their blatant lies to create a safe community." Imagine that. Imagine that. When you signal that you're good people, you probably aren't. This employee made it clear she had nothing to gain by coming forward, but felt it was more important to hold Twitch accountable for its own actions and lack thereof. Twitch repeatedly swept accounts of harassment and abuse under the rug, sexual, verbal, physical abuse, and racism. I'm not just my own. It took place in the office, at events, in meetings, and behind closed doors. It was rampant and unavoidable. We heard about it in the halls. We saw it at our desks. It was overt and part of the job. Wow. In the months since, we have spoken with 16 Twitch employees from every era of the company, dating back to when it was just in TV. A few said that they never saw anything of the sort in their time with the company. Most of them had stories confirming different aspects of the original employees' allegations. When we told Twitch what we had heard from these employees, a spokesperson for the company replied, "We take any allegations of this nature extremely seriously, whether on our service or within our company, and work swiftly to investigate and address them as appropriate. Any suggestions to the contrary misrepresent our culture, leadership, and values. Many of these allegations are years old, and we've taken numerous steps to better protect and support our employees and community, and we'll continue to invest time and resources. We'll go hire some more, diversity and inclusion people, make a big statement about it on Twitter to hopefully throw you guys off the scent." No, I don't know. That's just me making that up, but that seems to be the case, right? One of the most common assertions we heard from employees was that Twitch is not a welcoming environment for women, with one saying the company demonstrated an explicit tolerance for misogyny. Not anymore, because the dear girl is here. She's here to kick misogyny in the balls. Misogynists. "It was a boys' club," another woman said of working there. "There was a definite bias, a definite sense that females and males were different, and females weren't given the same opportunities. They were prey." One early employee recalled an atmosphere of casual sexism in the office that ranged from ignorance to outright misogyny. Another said it was common to hear women referenced to as bitches in the office. "Don't call women bitches at Twitch. Call them twitches. Don't do that." Future VP of Partnerships John Howell was well known inside and outside the company by his Twitter handle, John's Fat Cock. He changed the username as Twitch grew, but it was a known enough entity that someone re-registered it in 2014 with a user profile explaining John went all corporate and left this legendary handle behind. 2014 was also when Amazon acquired Twitch for almost $1 billion, which multiple people we spoke to pointed out as a division between eras in the company. That happens. That's kind of what happened with Comixology too. After the Amazon acquisition, we were told Twitch became more professional, began employing more women and marginalized people, and brought in consultants to talk about diversity and culture. I was joking, but there it is. I was kidding, but there it is. Despite that, our conversations with employees who worked at Twitch before, during, and after the acquisition made it clear that the increased professionalism only helped it so much. The people we spoke with for this article did so on the condition that we preserve their anonymity. Some felt putting time frames with their stories would risk identifying them. That is true. We've actually had people come to us back channel from different animation studios, and we try to leave gender out of it. We try to leave shows out of it, or shows they've worked on out of it, because you know, everybody knows everybody, and it's very easy to piece together who the squealer is. That said, the stories we collected were not confined or even concentrated to one specific era of the company. Perhaps predictably, the office culture's attitude toward women were reflected on the Twitch platform as a whole. Women streamers were routinely called boob streamers by men in the office. Now they're called thoughts, I think. That is the term. Someone tried calling Geeky a thought on a live stream one time, and it didn't go well. It did not go well. But look, I don't think that you should refer to women as boob streamers. But there are a lot of women who make money jiggling their boobs on Twitch. I'm just saying, I'm not talking about the women who are actually gaming, but there are an awful lot of women who are just shaking their boobs for money on Twitch. It is what it is. It's like a step removed from OnlyFans, right? One employee recalled instances of male coworkers joking about streamers sleeping with people to get favors or slut-shaming them. That's kind of... Okay, so they're joking about sleeping and then they slut... I don't know. The women on the platform were held to extreme standards, and it was always blamed on them if they used sexuality as marketing. It was deeply degrading, one woman said. One employee involved in moderation recalled professional streamer Casey Tron as an example of that, saying there was an abundance of concern when she started becoming popular on Twitch while wearing low-cut tops. It's one of those rare moments where some of the guys just came out with it and were honest. This woman is a problem because she's showing too much cleavage, and we need to come up with a way that does not bend our rules, but also allows us to get her off the website. Over the years, Twitch has banned, suspended, or warned women for breastfeeding, body painting, wearing workout clothes at the gym, and cosplaying as Chun-Li. What? Well, Twitch has that. I know Twitch is batshit crazy, right? I know Twitch is batshit crazy with the rules now, and I think this is a corporate thing. And I think some of the rules are way overboard. But I did not know that somebody was banned just for cosplaying as Chun-Li. While Twitch has at times been hands-on about the sexuality of women, most of those we spoke to said it was less engaged when it came to the harassment of women. Women streamers' concerns were not taken seriously. One employee said, "There's never any talk about should we make a formal system." And then one person's like, "What do boob streamers expect?" So this extended not just to streamers, but to Twitch employees. We heard accusations of victim blaming and downplaying serious offenses. Somebody had been called a C word and spat on by a coworker, and the manager said, "Well, what did you do to deserve it?" Multiple women said they'd been assaulted by men at the company, including forced kisses, groping, and inappropriate massage. One described... Okay, here's a true story I have. I actually had inappropriate massage at a newspaper I worked at one time by a dude who worked in the sports department. Believe it or not, he was an editorial in sports, and I thought he was straight, and he came over, he said, "Hey, you look kind of stressed out. Let me rub your shoulders." And I'm like, hey. Anyway, so this goes on and on and on and on. And basically, it's not just sexism, but racism. They have a racial and ethnic minority problem as well. We heard fewer stories of overt racism directed toward employees by their coworkers or managers. One employee saw a lack of diversity in the company contributing to a broader problem with racism and prejudice of all kinds at Twitch. Historically, the decision makers have predominantly been white and male, so they brushed off safety concerns of racial and ethnic minorities and women, etc., etc. Hate speech is dismissed as teenagers being edgy and not serious. Look, Twitch is going to be gutted. They're absolutely going to be gutted. I mean, it's a lot of gamers are leaving Twitch because it is very uneven. Their enforcement of rules is very, very uneven. The Dr. Disrespect debacle definitely hurt their cred, their street cred with gamers. And then we have this stuff like the Deer Girl saying that she's going to ban people who don't agree with her politics. Right? So Twitch is basically become kind of a joke to gamers. Now, I think it's very serious, if they've got this sort of, harassment going on at the company. And like I said before, I can't speak to what's actually going on at Twitch, but it does seem to be the case that many of these companies that signal publicly how progressive and woke they are really aren't, and they really have skeletons in the closet. And again, they tend to attract people who are looking for problems too. I mean, I'm going to be honest. You're going to, you put a flare up on Twitter that this is the kind of company you are. You're very progressive. You're very whatever. People are going to have certain expectations. They're going to go work for the company and be like, oh my God, there's just it's not diverse enough. The guy made a joke about a woman that he shouldn't have made. I thought you guys were progressive, and this is my definition of progressive, and you're making jokes, and jokes are bad. Jokes aren't progressive. Jokes are not progressive. They bring up a lot of skeletons in the closet at Twitch, including a teenager that killed himself on Justin TV like 12 years ago. I mean, it's bad. Look, this is, probably going to be part of the beginning of the end, I think, for Twitch. I don't know where they're going to go from here. It seems like YouTube is kind of eating into their live streaming. I mean, Dr. Disrespect is getting a shit ton of viewers on YouTube. But we know that YouTube is going to get stupid about that too. We know they are. So going back to Bleeding Cool, there's far more in the article when we get into. It's like an expose. It's a very, very long article. It is on gamesindustry.biz. They said the piece has gone viral. Some are calling for the immediate removal of figureheads within the company, others demanding for independent investigations into the allegations. But there's also a contingency of people who are not surprised, have experienced harassment themselves, and don't expect any change to come out of this latest article. There are also many calling into question some of the more high-profile names who have been given partnerships who have been accused of ill behavior for years. Ultimately, there's a lot on Twitch's plate moving forward, and it seems it's only a matter of time before some of the brand's famous names start speaking out or leaving or jumping ship. And again, it's not just the accusations that are hurting Twitch. It's Twitch is losing its good name, its rep in gaming circles. Twitch is sort of becoming a parody of itself, right? It's just at this point, with everything going on with Twitch and how they're kind of going overboard on their rules, and they're apparently able to just axe partners for whatever reason they want to. And I think they're probably going to triple down on the rules and regulations going forward because of this. I really can't recommend that anybody use Twitch, or at least do not make it your main streaming platform. I think the shit's going to hit the fan here pretty soon. And again, we're on YouTube for now. We do our live streams mostly on YouTube. We might mirror stuff on Twitch or whatever, gaming videos, but I don't think I'd go all in on Twitch. They're too unpredictable. I think it's unsafe for gamers. And apparently they've got a lot of other issues going on there as well. So we'll keep an eye on this situation. It is interesting that, not surprising that, a company that makes such a big deal about being progressive really isn't. This seems par for the course. I mean, this is very par for the course. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk to you guys later.